Okay, I was your latest update on Ken Ofori Atta. Lawyer Martin Kpebu at the Ensemble Ababetuja Orche say OSP estate na Oma Ken Ofori Atta efesi absentia trial na HSA ekoswa because of his absenta onya emma medru ase no na onya medru Ghana hase no and as onye na dwen say oba Ghana hase no OSP ɛhwɛ na ɔde nneɛma atoto akwam na kyerɛ sɛ absentia trial no ɛkɔ so a ɛnyɛ asɛm ketewa koraa nti lawyer Martin Kpebu de saa nsɛm no aba abɛto dwa abusua asisi a Ken Ofori Atta ne issue no latest update egu so ɛba yɛn nso yɛayɛ ready sɛ yɛbɛma mo live update ɛne any conversation bi a ɛkɔ so ɛwɔ ɛyɛ Ken Ofori Atta ɛyɛ ne extradition no ho a abusua ɛnyɛ easy koraa bɛdam ase mom yɛnkɔ na yɛnkɔ nkɔtie nsɛm a ɛkɔ so unsubscribe ya subscribe like na san so share ma afoforo nso ensa into enka bi aha Ghana Politics Avenue so and don't forget to click on the notification bell so na any updates bi drop bi ano wonso wonsa ebetumi aka bi madam ase
is mounting on the special prosecutor Kisi Jabing to expedite the extradition process against the former finance minister Ken Ofori Atta, who has failed to respond to several summons from the OSP despite being placed on both the wanted list and on Interpol red notice. It has been 9 months since the former finance minister first declared himself a fugitive of justice. In fact, the OSP declared him the fugitive of justice with steps initiated to extradite him to face criminal charges in Ghana. Last week, correspondence between the Attorney General's office and the OSP over the extradition process leaked, raising claims that the OSP has allegedly refused to submit the case docket to the Attorney General. There's more in the following report.
In February of 2025, Special Prosecutor Kisi Jabing addressed journalists and laid out his case against former Finance Minister Ken Ofori Atta, who was a person of interest in several cases of corruption. The OSP consequently declared Ken Ofori Atta a wanted man.
The OSP declares Kenneth Nanaya Ofori Atta a wanted person. He is a fugitive from justice. And this is to Mr. Ofori Atta. You have two choices. You can either return to the jurisdiction voluntarily or the OSP will enforce your return.
A few weeks later, and following assurances by the former finance minister that he will return to the country after some medical procedure, the OSP removed him from the wanted list. Despite this agreement, however, Ken Ofori Atta refused to return to Ghana, claiming a complication regarding his medical status. The OSP then reinstated him on the wanted list.
Mr. Ofori Atta's conduct is totally unacceptable and a baleful spite at law enforcement and criminal investigations. It ends here. We will no longer accommodate him. The OSP redeclares that Mr. Ofori Atta is a wanted person.
The family of Ken Ofori Atta had claimed he had been diagnosed with prostate cancer and had to undergo a complicated medical procedure in the USA where he currently is. The OSP has since been collaborating with the Office of the Attorney General to have him extradited to Ghana. 10 months since the first declaration, however, Ken Ofori Atta has neither been arrested in the US nor has he voluntarily returned, with recent reports claiming the OSP was not assisting the AG's office in the effort to extradite him to Ghana. But sources close to the OSP say the matter is receiving the needed attention and that recent reports could benefit Ken Ofori Atta, who can claim to US authorities that the supposed criminal case against him is politically motivated.
Anti-corruption campaigner Edem Selanu says information available to him from the OSP contradicts the claims that the office is refusing to cooperate with the Attorney General to conclude the extradition process. Let's listen to him. We'll be back with more.
Understand this continuous attack of the OSP, and now the actions to be taken are no longer in the court of the OSP, and yet people are saying the OSP is delaying.
But should the OSP move to the dictates of what people are saying, or move by what the law says, for him to, do what he's supposed to do?
And the OSP has been doing that. I mean, the OSP stuck to their guns in spite of all the backlash. They were being insensitive, and still said, no, we have every suspicion that he will not show up. So we are putting him on red alert. People were not happy with that. upon all the commitments, all the way up to June 2nd, the man said he will appear. 3 or 4 days to June 2nd, he says, I cannot come for whatever reasons. Now, he's not saying he's in surgery. He's not saying he has whatever. And he's walking the streets of America. It's not a government decision. Honestly speaking, it is no longer in the court of the ages. In fact, I'm aware that this week they are likely to call a press conference where I think they've done further work where there are additional charges they are looking at. So the OSP has continued to work, trying to, as it were, mine the data they have. And in the information I have, they are likely to have additional charges they're going to press by the end of this week.
Meanwhile, private legal practitioner Martin Kpebu insists the OSP should consider initiating a trial in absentia against Ken Ofori-Atta if the former minister continues to evade justice.
It's a time where some of the points, leave it to the technical people, because when you get in too much, you would cause a bit of confusion. Now let's do this. Let's do a bit of education. There's a law called Mutual Legal Assistance Act, right? So for criminal cases, when you need help, you go through it. Now, Ofori-Atta said he would do video conference. I currently don't have the law here, but in times past, we read it. Before you do the video conference, the simple point we are making is that you can ask the U.S. authorities to take Ofori-Atta's statement for us. So they will take what we call caution statement. Then they will take charge statement. If there are any other things, we will act through that. That's why we made the law. So, Adam, I think this one, maybe we should talk behind the scenes so that we don't appear to be fighting in public. But please, we all want the law to work. So we have a law, we have a legal framework that allows us to get the U.S. authority. And we've debated this ad nauseam. So it's Ofori-Atta himself who said he will cooperate with the U.S. So, and when it comes to taking the statement, it's not any difficult thing. Once the Americans agree, they will ask him to come to whichever office of the FBI or which other investigating authority will use. Then they will take the statement from him. It's not rocket science.
Well, here at Joy News, we've also obtained copies of some of this correspondence between the OSP and the Attorney General on this matter. Our legal desk member, Kweku Asante, has been reviewing the documents. He spoke earlier on JN today.
That in June of this year, the special prosecutor wrote to the chief of staff of the president requesting assistance in their effort to extradite Ken Ofori-Atta to Ghana. The chief of staff's office did forward that letter to the attorney general's office to liaise with the OSP on this matter. The AG specifically wrote to the OSP requesting some staff support from the OSP on that matter, and also the specific docket and the update on the investigation and wherever they may be. The OSP did, in fact, reply the letter of the Attorney General and recommended 2 people to assist them with that investigation. However, the docket did not go. We are getting some understanding and some responses, some officials from the OSP and some of the sources we are digging, that the OSP denies the claims that he is not cooperating and that in fact the docket is being worked on, the investigation has been working on for quite some time now, and as soon as that concludes, he will forward him to the Attorney General for action. And as we heard there from Adam Senano, the OSP may this week organize a news conference and lay out the specifics of what he has been able to do together with the Attorney General's office in getting to the point where they can extradite Ken Ofori-Atta to Ghana and be fine.
That's perfect. Kweku, would you confirm to me that over the weekend this document or the source that we have from the OSP corresponds with what you're just telling me, that it explains why the docket had not been forwarded to the AG? Would you confirm this to me?
Well, yes, a couple of the information in there are all confirmed, and the sources in terms of what we are trying to compare the facts and some of the leaked letters we've seen. It all confirms, and that the only thing the OSP is yet to do as regards to the Attorney General is to forward the letter or the docket to the Attorney General's office, and that we are told is being worked on aggressively, and as soon as that is ready, it will get to the AG's office.
Well, let's now listen to Professor of International Law at the University of Ghana Law School, Kojo Epie. He believes that the OSP must first establish a strong legal basis for the extradition before it can even proceed further.
It involves the country where the alleged criminal is located, which is in the case the U.S., and the country which is requesting for the alleged criminal to be brought to justice, in this case Ghana. And in between is Interpol, that is the International Police Commission, which, and as things stand now, the government of Ghana has issued an arrest, has issued asked Interpol to issue the red alert, which in itself does not constitute a warrant of arrest, but it's a notification that this person is alleged to have committed some offense and is wanted by that country, in which case Ghana. And for the process to really work, we have a situation where Ghana and US already has an extradition treaty between them. So it makes it easier. But all the same, it calls for the country which is requesting for the alleged criminal to complete all the processes. And it also has to make sure that the offense that the person is alleged to have committed is not considered a political offense. Secondly, the person the person shouldn't have already been tried for that offense. And there's also the question as to whether the offense that is being alleged to have committed is an offense in the two countries, both countries as well. So when all these conditions are met, then the onus or the burden lies on the U.S. to initiate that process. And so at the end of the day, U.S. also has to agree. And because they are all parties to either Interpol agreements or convention, and also there's that extradition treaty between Ghana and the U.S., it should be easy and possible for U.S. then to arrest this person for him to be brought to Ghana for trial.
Thank you, Prof. But just what you've just said, it should be easier, knowing what you have just told us this afternoon. Ghana has a history of cooperating with the U.S. when it comes to extradition issues. This year alone, Ghana has extradited several Ghanaian nationals accused of internet fraud and maybe money laundering to face charges in the U.S. Should Ghana be more assertive to U.S. authorities given the history of our cooperation?
Well, that is a matter that the two governments may have to resolve, but I'm sure that at the end of the day, it should be possible for U.S. to cooperate to ensure that Mr. Ofori-Atta is brought to Ghana for trial. But yes, in terms of the legalities, Ghana can request for Mr. Ofori-Atta to be brought to Ghana, but sometimes there's some political issues involved, and if that is ironed out, then it is possible for him to be brought to Ghana for trial.
So, Prof, finally, in very simple terms, it's not very strange that in 9 months, the OSP has not been able to, or hasn't been successful with this. It's not strange.
It may sound strange, but it's also about how Ghana takes the matter seriously and how cooperation between the OSP and the Attorney General's office works. If they're able to do all the paperwork well, and they're able to establish that this is all the papers that should be sent to the U.S., the U.S. is satisfied with that, then it eases the process for him to be extradited to Ghana.
Well, it's a good time now to bring in several others critically injured after unknown gunmen opened fire on civilians at the Garu NHIA office in the Upper East region this morning. According to Garu DCE John Abare, 4 armed men riding 2 motorcycles opened fire on bystanders at the NHIA premises while fleeing the scene, continued shooting indiscriminately at anyone in their path. The motive for the attack remains unclear as investigations are underway. Well, let's get on the ground now and speak to our correspondent who has been monitoring the situation for us all day. Albert Story, we appreciate your time. Tell us, what exactly is the atmosphere like in Garu?
Relatives of the persons who are injured and even those who were killed in the attack massed up at the Garu Presbyterian Hospital, especially for those of them who are Muslims. They are trying to see if the bodies of their relatives can be released to them for burial. Earlier, when I spoke with the district chief executive, he told me that they've had to release one body at the time that I was speaking to him. We do not know if the rest of the bodies have been released for burial yet, because obviously investigations are also ongoing. But just before I joined you, we were getting some information that it appears that one more person who is one of the injured may have died, to increase the number of people who have now died to 5. We are yet to solidly confirm that with the district chief executive, but as I speak to you, a lot of people who are residents are talking about the incident. Some have gathered at the hospital to visit their injured relatives as well.
Do we know how many individuals are injured?
So the information we got in the morning was that the morning incident where they attacked the NHI office and then went on to shoot sporadically in the town. 8 people were hit, and the 4 who died were part of the 8. So if that information is anything to go by, it means that we had 4 more people who were injured and on admission. But we understand they went into a neighboring village and shot some more people. The district chief executive, when I spoke to him this afternoon, said that he was on the way to that place to ascertain what was also going on there. As we speak, we don't have enough information as to how many more people were attacked. But the information I'm getting from some other sources within the area indicate that this could be a very huge number of people from what we are gathering so far. In the Presbyterian hospital where the injured in Garu were taken, there were at least 4 other people who were on admission. But it now appears that there are more people who are injured from the attack, Faustina.
And so far, has the police made any arrests?
From what we are learning, these gunmen were pillion riders on 2 motorbikes. So there were 2 people riding, and then they picked the gunmen who were shooting on the 2 motorbikes. So 4 people, 2 on each motorcycle. So on each motorcycle, 1 person was riding, and then you have the gunman. When they did this,
Oh dear. Albert, we seem to have lost you briefly. If you can position rightly, I'm sure it's a problem with your connection. You're just giving us updates on if there has been any arrests so far. Albert, I'm told I have better connection to you. You can proceed.
Yes, Faustina. So I was saying that so after they carried out the attack, they were on the run, and we don't know if police has managed to arrest them yet. In fact, just before I joined the feed this afternoon, we had not yet confirmed any arrest because they carried out the attack and they ran away. Some other information I got indicate that they when they moved into the other village that I was talking about, when they shot people, they stole 1 more motorcycle, and ran away with it. So as we speak, we haven't been able to get confirmation as to whether an arrest has been made yet.
Thank you so much, Albert. Sorry, joining us all the way from the Upper East region. Well, thankfully, I have the DCE for the region, just like my colleague says. He joins the conversation, just give us updates. The District Chief Executive for the region, John Abari. We appreciate your time here on the pulse. Let's start with your preliminary briefings you've received from the police. Do we know who these individuals are?
Yeah, good evening, and good evening to your listeners. Yeah, in fact, I'm just, we just dropped a corpse of one of the deceased persons to a village under Boku called Manga. So I'm just from there coming back. In fact, we don't have any arrest or anything from the police yet, because we are just running here and there trying to organize things. But for now, there is no any arrest that has been made yet.
Do we know the number of individuals who are dead so far? My colleague tells me the number may have increased. Is that the situation on the ground?
Yes, the number that have been confirmed from the hospital as death are 4 currently. Yes.
Is there
and
any
then,
update as
another
to
about 4 people too are also injured, but that is, I cannot confirm whether that is all the number or not, because we are just busy moving around, even depositing the corpse to the family. I think I went with my car to under Timpane. One person too was also coming from there. That person is working in the health insurance office in Garu. So together, myself and the police, we send the corpse there, and then we also send the corpse to Boku, who was a head teacher in one of the primary schools in Garu.
So far, the 4 individuals that are dead, based on what you're telling us, have you released their bodies to their family members?
Yes.
All 4 of them?
Yeah, there are 4 of them. After they were sent to the Presby Hospital in Garu here, and they were confirmed dead.
And how is the situation on the grounds, knowing fully well that these individuals are still on the run, no arrest has been made so far? How are you handling the situation on the ground as the district chief executive?
Yeah, in fact, the situation on the ground is actually confused. Everybody is confused. We don't know where the assailants are coming from. And actually, as they are not even being arrested, everybody is scared. But I can see that there's calm. I can see people around, moving around, but actually people are, let me say, they are afraid. And then everybody, in fact, everybody is afraid here.
And will you be increasing police presence and visibility in that area? Have you been in talks with the police to ensure that they increase their visibility in the area?
Yeah, immediately when I had the information, I informed the police commander. In fact, he was already even in the ground before I called him. And I also called the military. As of now, the military from Boku, they are around. And then they are doing the patrols. But like I'm saying, we do not have arrest yet. But after the incident, they took one route moving towards the northeast region. I think eyewitnesses who were there, they said they took the northeast region route and they went around that side. So, but whether they were actually going to northeast or they just want to do that as a cover up and catch somewhere, we can best tell.
And this is worrying. What's the way forward from where you sit?
Yeah, the way forward is for the security agencies to intensify their personnel. They have to increase their personnel here and also intensify their patrols. And then our intelligence unit within the security too, they have to also intensify their work so that we can actually get to know or get those assailants. I know if those people are arrested and we actually know where they are coming from or whom they are, I think that the tension will come down. But for now, the tension is high. Everybody is confused. They don't know what's happening.
Abuja wene ensema ekoso ewo political highway so. Eye lawyer Martin Kpebu and I attend in Kasa or this ensem no to the assisi Ken Ofori Atta na so ayeshi ya assisi and case no escalate assisi no presidency any abre one. So sisi there is much pressure on OSP kisi ejaben abusuya wene ensema ekoso but am asama je penny kokotisa ensem we edemaya ha Ghana Politics Avenue. So and don't forget to click on the notification bell so that any updates be able to drop piano once a bit to me akabi.